Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we've got the last 10-man PPR mock draft for you guys. Again, we will be dropping a 12-man as well to help you guys with that strategy and kind of what you need to look for. But this is the last one for the 10-man. This is a PPR, so I want to make sure you guys are prepared for that. If you are new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe down below. Also hit that notification bell because we're going to be dropping videos almost every single day, whether it be ranking, and of course, when the season starts, sit starts, waiver wires, injuries, all those different things to help you out with your upcoming season. So if you are, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Also, if you have questions, feel free to hit us in the comments down below or follow us on our socials. You can check us out on Twitter or Instagram, hit us in our DMs in case you have questions about your upcoming draft or, just questions about fantasy in general. And then, of course, when we come along the season, who you should start or sit for the upcoming season. So we're going to jump right into our draft. We are in the 10th spot. This is a very interesting spot. Some people actually love the 10th spot. A lot of people like that swing spot where you can pick a player and then pick a player, right? And there's some great strategies. Now, typically when you go into the 10th spot, you're usually getting a high top tier receiver. Maybe you're getting a running back depending how your, buddies draft, right? So that we're going to jump right into that, all right? So let's get into it. All right, so we are in the 10th spot, okay? So we're going to jump right into this mock draft. Again, I'm going to give you analysis. None of this is ever perfect, okay? But I will tell you my explanations of what I'm going after if I'm in the 10th spot. So in the 10th spot, typically, again, I'm going to go after a very high-end receiver or a good running back depending on what's left. So as you can see, all running backs went straight forward, and I understand that's very, very typical. And that's okay. Look, when you're in the 10th spot, you may not get that stud running back, but you're going to get some good running backs. What you want to go after is the top-tier receivers because a lot of times if you look at fantasy points overall, a lot of times in PPR, receivers are usually going to be the ones helping you win. Now, as you can see, a lot of times you're going to see Travis Kelce go in the first round. Again, maybe a Zeke or a Chubb falls in this spot. I'm not necessarily crazy about drafting, getting a Travis Kelce in the first round. So for me, I'm actually going to end up going with Devontae Adams as my top guy. And then I'm actually going to end up going to Stephon Diggs. So I'm going to go 2 wide receivers in the 10th man spot. A lot of people are going to go, well, what about running backs? Because, yes, you can get good receivers at the, 3rd, 4th, 5th round. Some really good receivers. And I understand that because, you lose an Eckler, an Aaron Jones, a Joe Mixon, something like that. Again, I'm taking the risk of getting a good running back. Again, not top tier, but a good running back that's going to help fill and offset my 2 stud receivers. So now we're back at it. You see a couple quarterbacks go. You got Mahomes. You got Josh Allen. Obviously, Kittle's gone. And if you look at the running back positions left, you got Dobbins, Sanders, Carson, Montgomery. So some decent, running backs there. If you look at receivers, you still got some really good receivers here. And then obviously you got a great tight end. I'm actually going to end up going Waller. I'm going to fill all my strong PPR guys first. So we get Waller, Adams, and Diggs. Now, as far as running back, I'm going to actually end up going to Montgomery. Reason for that is David Montgomery is expected to get at least 20-plus carries. This is from the mouth of Nagy, right? Obviously, we're going to trust that he's telling us the truth, and I don't see why he wouldn't. There's no reason to hide that. I like Montgomery a lot. I had him last year when Cohen went down. Montgomery did an amazing job for me and was an absolute stud. So now we're going to go into another. Now, I could go another receiver, and I thought about that when I've done mock drafts in this position because you do see some of the good receivers. You got Woods, for example, Chris Godwin. You got some good players there. I actually like going after Myles Gaskin here as far as running backs go. Myles Gaskin's got some great upside and, a potentially good future with the Dolphins. So I like Myles Gaskin. So I feel really good about what I've got here. Now, I've thought about going quarterback here, and there's nothing wrong with going to a quarterback here. I still think I can get a good quarterback in the 7th round at the end. So I actually am going to look at some depth, right? I want to look at flex, great depth behind the line, the receivers or running backs. So I'm actually going to end up going with Chris Godwin here. And Chris Godwin's kind of a risk, but potentially high. I like Chris Godwin a lot. He did really well last year. The risk with Chris Godwin, and just so you guys know, is the fact that you might have to deal with the fact that and Antonio Brown might take some of that share. You still have Scotty Miller. They've got a lot of weapons, and it can be a little bit of a struggle. But I still trust and like Chris Godwin. One thing I want everybody to be aware of, and what I'm seeing a lot of, is Michael Thomas dropping quite a bit in the drafts. Don't be surprised or shocked with that. I understand why. A lot of uncertainty with, look, there's the Twitter, feed, that the little feud that's going on. He's injured. He's going to be out for a few games, if not months. Hopefully not months, but there's a lot of uncertainty, so I understand. He could be a steal, though, so just be aware. If you get Michael Thomas in the 7th round, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. Don't feel bad taking him. Now, I'm looking at some options. Again, I'm going to fill the bye week fills or some depth, some flex. So you look at some of these guys, not crazy about that. I'm actually going to end up going Dak Prescott here to fill out my roster. So I've got my 2 starting receivers, 2 my tight end, running backs, flex option, quarterback. Team is set, okay? Feel really good about it, like it. I'm happy about it. Now, I'm really going to start filling in some of the depth. Now, I actually like Chase Edmonds here at running back. I'm okay with getting him in an 8th round pick. He's actually going to end up doing really well. I know there's James Conner there, but I don't expect James Conner to just take away everything from Chase Edmonds. And the reason why they let Kenyon Drake go is they like what they see in Edmonds, so don't be afraid of taking him. Again, I'm not taking him in a 3rd or 4th round. I'm going to take him later on. He's not going to be that much of a risk in that particular spot. So now I want to fill a little bit more of my receivers. I've got 3 receivers. I get 2 more I can fill there. You look at some of these options in Brandon Cooks, Laviska Shenault, Tyler Boyd. I like Tyler Boyd a lot here. Tyler Boyd, Chase, obviously, Jamar Chase got hurt. They're keeping an eye on that. So Tyler Boyd, and let's be honest, the Bengals are going to be playing behind a lot. So that ball is going to be spread. And I'm okay with having Tyler Boyd as a great backup option. And then I'm going to go back in to look at the running back options. Here, I'm actually going to go Damian Harris. I like Damian Harris a lot. He's been hyped up big time when it comes to New England. They're looking at him, obviously, pretty much running with the first team. Obviously, anything that has to do with New England and Bill Belichick, there is no just one running back option. And I understand that. But with Damian Harris, he's getting a lot of the looks. He's getting a lot of the ball carrying. I like him a lot in this particular spot. So now, all right, feel pretty good. We got some bye week fills. We've got, some backups and a receiver, running backs. Now you start looking at what are some good handcuffs, whether it's, maybe another tight end, maybe another quarterback. And obviously, if you're in a super flex, quarterbacks are going to go a lot higher than what you're seeing here. But I actually look at tight ends, and I'm going to end up going with Logan Thomas is a great backup tight end. And maybe on some matchups, he'll be a flex. Very rarely, but he's a great backup there. Then we go back into, so I've got my 4 running backs, 4 receivers, and I'll fill in 2 more of those positions. So receivers, I'm going to end up going to Corey Davis for the Jets. Besides Elijah Moore, who I do highly like and love, I think you guys should keep an eye on him. I like Corey Davis going into, the Jets there and hopefully being the player that we're all hoping he can be when it comes to that. So, and then I'm going to fill in one more particular spot when it comes to my running back position, and I'm going to end up going to Tony Pollard. I like Pollard a lot. Another guy I would actually look at is Latavius Murray. I like Latavius Murray, but I'm going to end up going with Tony Pollard. Obviously, we don't hope Zeke, as a Cowboy fan, goes down, but if he does, Tony Pollard's a great option. He showed a lot of great signs, and they're going to use him a lot this upcoming season. So let's do it. And as far as defense goes, I'm actually going to end up going to the Washington football team. I actually like them. If you've ever looked at their stats, one of the best defensive teams that we've got going on right now in the league. I hate to say that because as a Cowboys fan, we're going to have to deal with them twice. But they do have one of the best and really the best young talent, Chase Young. So I will always go after Washington football team as a defensive squad. And then we go to the kickers. Again, my boys, Zerline. I always love going after him. I like going after teams. Again, I always say this every time with kickers. Go after a kicker that a team's offense can score points or at least get down to the red zone. And that's something that you want in all these kickers. Obviously, you'll see a lot of the stud kickers go first, but I do like Greg Zuerlein here. So I hope this video helped you guys. I know I've gotten some great comments. You guys have been awesome in feedback and letting us know how you feel, what we thought were some good picks. Maybe we should have done things differently. Appreciate all the love you guys have given me. Again, if you liked what you saw, if this was helpful for you, if your draft's coming up, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell because we are going to be dropping a lot of videos. I've got a couple more coming up this week. I want you guys prepared for the season. We got some preseason games this weekend, so hopefully every player is healthy. No injuries this weekend. Let's make sure that happens. Follow us on our socials, and I'll check you guys out next time.